Hello everyone, I'm the Crimson DM and welcome back to A Thing. So, I haven't done anything in a long time, and I decided I'm going to start by doing an art vlog and getting back into YouTube a little bit. I'm not sure how often I'll do these, but if I can, I'd like to do at least one a week, because I think that'd be cool. So, I apologize for the audio quality. The computer I'm using is not it's not my gaming PC, the better one. It's the old junker. The one that doesn't seem to recognize that my microphone exists. But I still wanted to make something because I kind of miss it and I think this would be a cool idea. So what I want to do is show off a bunch of practice drawings I've done over the last 7 days and just talk about some of the learning process I've been going through and stuff, because I think it'd be really nice to document my learning how to draw. So without further ado, let's get into this. Before I actually get into this, I do want to mention all of these are my crappy attempts to replicate drawings that I have on my computer. They're just practice. Like, I'm not making money on this. Nothing's monetized. YouTube might put ads there if they decide to, but that's YouTube's fault, not mine. But this is just practice art. I'm not stealing anything, just to let you know. And unfortunately, a lot of these I got from my friends like 10 years ago, so I can't really find the artist right now. Maybe I will eventually, and if you guys recognize any of the artists and who did these, please leave a comment in the comments below, and I will definitely put their name in the description, because, you know, it's a lot of good art, and I'd like to give them credit, but I just don't know who did these. Yeah, so let's get into it. This first one is the first attempt I had at drawing one of these. It sucks. The cheek is all funny looking, and the eyes are still wrong, and it's a super zoom in on a character's face, because, you know, I wanted to get the face structure down first before I went further, and I still don't have face structure down, but I'm getting better at it, and you'll see some improvement by the time we get to the end of this. The one thing I like about this one, though, is I did the way I did the bow on her hair. Like, I did not expect that to come out at all looking like a bow, but it did, so I'm kind of happy with that. The second one is another complete failure in some ways, but I like this scarf. Just another character that has odd proportions, because I still don't understand how proportions work yet. And yes, I have drawn real people. It doesn't help unless you do it all day, every day, and I've been out of practice for like a year, so, you know, maybe more than a year, maybe a few years. It's hard to tell. This is the third drawing. Just another thing I was trying to do. Another super zoom in on a face. And I was trying to replicate the weird colors that are in this drawing. If I can actually find the drawing on my computer, I will try and put a link to show just how crazy the hair color is. But this is one I chose because it had an interesting little, you know, side profile. Okay, drawing number 4. I do not like this one at all. I'm not going to like pretty much any of the ones I draw. I know what this was, and I know I zoomed in too much, and I know that the eyes here, at least the eyes are shaped better. Tears are hard to do, just saying. And before I go any further, I do want to say that my only limitations on what I've been drawing have been using a pen and pencil. I have not moved on to doing my usual computer-styled art yet, because I want to get the basics down first. This is probably the first one that I did that I actually like, even though I messed up on the bow. Like, I actually really do like this one. Do I think it's great? No. Do I think it was much better practice than what I was doing? Yes. But it took me a few days to get to this point. So, and you'll notice that you can see my clipboard. That is the clipboard I've been using for, whoo boy, I don't know, 14 years? More than that? I've been using this thing since before D&D, I think. I started playing D&D when I was 17, so maybe 16? It's been a long time. Here is drawing number 6. This was the first full body one I tried to do, because at this point I was realizing that I wasn't learning enough by doing just the face. I needed to learn how to do an entire body. And that's when I started to realize that anime actually takes a lot more inspiration from real life anatomy than I expected. So a few of these things I had learned from drawing real life people, so it was not quite as hard as I thought it would be. Here's another miscellaneous drawing that has no name or no title. I did not write what number this was or when I drew it, but it was near the full body one. Just another zoom in on the face and some of the better hands that I've drawn. I do not like drawing hands. I don't think anyone likes to draw hands. Here is just a little sketch, a little tiny quick practice I did. Just a little tiny thing, copying a face. Not really that great. I kind of liked the expression on the face that I was trying to emulate. Here is another full body one. And I know that I simplified it and lost a lot of the details, but what I did learn from this that I liked was the skirt. Drawing skirts is actually a little different than I would have thought. It's not just a straight line. You can see that actually kind of just folds over itself. Just kind of cool. Here is a cat girl. And this is perhaps one of my favorite drawings, or one of my favorite anime pictures I own. And I've owned this one since I don't even know when. I swear, I've owned this image since I was like 14. And I've tried drawing it 2 or 3 times over the years, and I think this is the best attempt at it so far, but it's still not very good. However, I liked it because it has those little bones that go above the chest that I really have a hard time seeming to draw. And here's the first one where I started trying to do a new style for drawing. As you can see, with this one, I think this is anime test number 10 or something. I don't remember. But as you can see, with this one, I did something that was using pencil shading, full black ink shading, and a lot of white space. And I kind of like the way this one came out. It's still not good. It's going to take probably months before I start getting drawings that I think that look good, and years before they're actually good. So here's the next one I did. I did this one mostly because, again, it's got anatomy features that I am not very good at drawing. And specifically the ruffles in the clothing. Like, I am not good at drawing like wrinkles in clothes when people are wearing them. And so that's something that I try to seek out, is stuff that I can easily understand what I'm looking at and replicate. Now, there's a problem that I want to point out with this one in particular, and it's that a lot of these ones that I'm trying to replicate in pen and, pencil, they're done as paintings, which makes it really hard when a lot of the details are just different colored shades, and the style I'm trying to create does not work with that. And here is number 13. Now, I did add a little bit more detail to this one than was actually in the image because I think she has a wizard's hat, but I don't really know if she has a wizard hat. I just know it's a cute little elf girl, and I don't know if she's dressing or undressing. And you'll notice there's a cutoff there, and it's because the image is one of those ones that really annoys me in terms of just like they tilted the entire character to the side, so it's really hard to replicate drawing it, and that's probably where I get most of my mess ups from, is when they're tilting the camera to the side, and I can't really fix that. Again, I'm using this one to try and learn how to draw anatomy a little bit better. It's still surprisingly close to real people anatomy, which is really neat. I also decided to try and start doing the backgrounds in these, but I want to do them as pencil so that they look like they're in the background. Still working on that. Here is probably the biggest image that I've done a replication of so far, and I really like this one actually, because, well, it's number 14, but as you can see, there was a lot of detail in the background. Almost all of it was painted, so I had to try and find a way to replicate it without, without looking too weird, and be something you can kind of understand. The character itself is better than it could have been, but it still needs work. I still need work. And here's probably the one I'm the most proud of. It's another cat girl, but I feel like this one I've really started to figure out some of my style choices and really got shapes to look a lot better. And I know it's a little blurry. I'm sorry about that. My camera doesn't always like to pick things up, and it's a problem. But this one just goes to show how I'm improving. I got those little bones above the chest. I don't even know what those are called. Collarbones, maybe? Not sure. Whatever they are, they look a lot better in this drawing. And I really like this one. Just the way the shading works in between the wrinkles of clothing, the way the face is shaped better, more smoothly, and yeah. It's also just another cat girl, and cat girls are pretty cute. Fingers, on the other hand, I still struggle with. Hands, yo. And then we got, like, an anime mom in her PJs. And this is the last one I did. I did this one last night. This was day 7's drawing. Well, these last two are day 7's drawings. And I chose this one because it looked like it'd be simpler to draw and teach me how to do more realistic clothing, and it was neither of those things. I mean, it taught me a little bit about clothing, but clothing is hard to draw. And, like, you can just see, I'm trying to replicate where the actual lines on the drawing are, but they look wrong because I have no idea what I'm doing. And it'll take a long time before I actually understand. However, if we compare this one, let's not compare this one, I don't like this one. If we compare the previous one to the very first one I did, you can see that my second cat girl looks a lot better, even though there's a couple of mistakes I made when drawing it, because my hands are still shaky. They're not used to this yet. You can see this one's a lot better. I'm trying to remember how to draw anything after like 3 years of not drawing much at all. And I'm getting there. And hopefully soon I will be back to being a pretty good artist. Now this has gone on for a lot longer than I thought it would, so I'm going to have to cut it off here. But I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing the first week of trying to learn how to draw anime. And I hope you guys kind of like it. If you do, please leave a comment below. Leave a like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, you know how all that stuff works. And I'll try and see if I can continue making these videos, because I would like to continue learning how to draw, and it'd be really cool to just document my learning process. That way, a year from now, when I'm actually good at this, I can look back and laugh and say, look at how terrible those all were. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Adios.